When I was the manager of a makeup store, I had a customer come in weeks after a highly anticipated launch, and she was so upset at me that everything was sold out. Let me tell you what happened. So this particular brand does lots and lots of limited edition releases. This is a very highly anticipated Halloween eyeshadow palette. The unfortunate thing about the store I was working at, for some reason, they wouldn't ever send us the full collection of anything that ever launched ever. Like, the collection was cool, everything was cool, but the eyeshadow palette was the star of the show. Everybody was freaking out about the eyeshadow palette. We had people calling the store to see if we had gotten the collection in yet. So finally, we get the truck with the collection. We got one of each product. One. Launch day, there's a line of people outside of the store. Everything sells out within the first 5 minutes of the store being open. That whole day was a fucking nightmare. The phone was ringing off the hook, and it felt like every single person that was coming in was looking for that stuff. Okay, so like maybe 2 weeks later, this lady comes in with her daughter. They're walking around the whole store. They're clearly looking for something. I asked them a few times if they need help finding anything, and they always say no. But like, they're walking around, they're looking for something. So I kept checking in. So then they're looking for me. And the mom goes, hello? Con puro cara de fuchi. The mom looks at me and she goes, I've been walking around this whole store and I cannot find what I'm looking for. Can you help me find it? It's crazy you have an attitude with me, and we're gonna ignore the fact that I've checked in on you a few times and I don't know why you're mad at me, but sure, let me help you. She shows me the picture, and it's the eyeshadow palette of the launch that had launched 2 weeks ago. So I tell her, that product sold out the day that we launched it. We don't have anything. She goes, what do you mean you don't have anything? And I said, well, that collection, when it launched, everything sold out pretty much as soon as we opened the store. We don't have anything from that collection anymore. The lady looks at me and she goes, did I ask you for the whole collection, or did I ask you for the eyeshadow palette? Gertrude, don't piss me off, okay? I've already had a day. Don't piss me off, Gertrude. All I said was the eyeshadow palette sold out. It sold out about 2 weeks ago. We don't have it. What do you mean you don't have it? Are you gonna get any more? I chuckled. I probably shouldn't have, but her attitude completely caught me off guard. I was like, it was limited edition. They're not making it. It's not coming back. It's gone. With her whole chest, and I believe in my soul, she was dead ass. She looks at me with rage and she goes, why would you let it sell out? What the fuck am I supposed to say to that? I said, ma'am, it was highly anticipated and it sold out very quickly as soon as we opened the store. There was a lot of people waiting outside. We don't have it anymore. A lot of people wanted it. I don't know if she's trying to flex in front of her daughter. I'm not really quite sure what she's doing, but she goes, well, what about us? We wanted this eyeshadow palette. What about us? We don't get it? I said, ma'am, it's sold out. Like, what else could I say? She goes, it probably sold out because you and all your little fucking friends probably bought it before any of the customers had a chance to buy it. I just told her very calmly, because this launch was highly anticipated, we were actually not allowed to buy anything until the end of the very first day, and there was nothing left anyway. She goes, you are so full of shit. It's a fucking $20 eyeshadow palette. The fucking quality ain't even that good. Like, why? I am fucking over it. I said, is there anything else I can help you with? She was like, are you trying to get rid of me? I want to speak to a manager. I said, ma'am, I am the manager on duty. What can I help you with? I shouldn't have said it like that, but like, what do you mean you want to speak to manager? The fucking palette is gone. You want me to pull it out of my fucking... She said, well then, when does the next competent manager come in? At this point, I had already been looking for another job. I was 1 foot out the door. I told her, we actually don't have any competent managers at the store. Is there anything else I can help you with? She goes, are you getting smart with me, little girl? Little girl? I said, if you find me to be an incompetent manager, you're gonna think the rest of them are incompetent too. She goes, this is fucking ridiculous. I want the number to corporate. I said, you could Google it. I don't know it off the top of my head. The mom go off about how, every time I come in this store, you guys are all so fucking rude. You guys are all so fucking useless. All of this for a mid-quality eyeshadow palette. The mom goes, what's your name? I'm reporting you to corporate. I said, it's Brittany. She goes, Brittany what? I said, Brittany. I don't know what it was about these customers that was so obsessed with getting my last name. Store full of customers, by the way. Store full of customers. She goes, no, I want your last name, you fucking idiot. I want to file a formal complaint, so I'm gonna need your last name. I said, you can put in a complaint without knowing my last name. She said, you're really refusing to give me your last name? You are required to give me your last name when I ask for it. The fuck? No, I'm not. I said, no. I'm not gonna give you my last name. She goes, you're gonna fucking regret this. She grabs her daughter's hand and she fucking storms out of the store. She never reached out to corporate. She never even wrote a Google review, and I never saw her again.
Get ready with me while we talk about holidays in prison. I got there in September, I think, because I initially got arrested August 4th. It's coming up, my anniversary. Not my jail anniversary, my clean day. I was in jail for about a month before they sent me to prison. First holiday I had in there was Halloween. Halloween! And I don't feel like there was any like commotion in there during Halloween. When I first got there, at least. Later on, there was some trick-or-treating. It was just like known that it was Halloween. I felt sad because I knew my kids were trick-or-treating. I always loved Halloween with the boys. One time Brayden dressed up as a monster. He had the feet. Definitely sad, but nothing like the other holidays. Then came Thanksgiving. In prison on Thanksgiving, they serve you meat. Meat! Not meat, bro. What is this? They give you a piece of pie. That was exciting. There's a little bit of whipped cream on. But you want to know the worst part about being in prison on Thanksgiving is the officers would come in with their leftovers. Then came Christmas. I decided to bring in a fuck-ass 2-foot tall Christmas tree into the dorm. Then it was a reminder, you know what I mean? I was like, dude, just get out. At the beginning of my prison stay, the grandma wasn't really like talking to me much. My fucking god, dude. I had to fucking goddamn beg what she wanted. Again, meanwhile, her son is a full addict with the boys. Anyways, not holding on to it. You're with me now. It's okay, Lacey. Relax. So I don't think the first Christmas was good because I didn't really get to talk to the boys. As the years went on, it got better and better. First year I was in there for my birthday, I didn't really have much done for me because I didn't really make that much friends. Second year, I made hella friends. And all the girls tried to come together and like do surprises for me, but there's only so much we could do. Like we didn't have access to like balloons and shit. So I woke up in the morning and I went to open my locker and they made streamers. And they made a whole book that they like passed around the whole dorm and everybody wrote what they loved about me. Of course, everybody said I was the funniest person ever, and thank you for making them laugh in such a dark place. I was the comedian of the dorm, of course. Honestly, for the boys' birthday and Christmas, I cried the whole day long. So I just kind of, nope, not that color. I'd cry all day long. Girls would like try to help each other. Eventually, the grandma started letting me do video visits, and I'd call them on the phone. It was pretty brutal for the first year. Yeah. Think about it. I get the... Sometimes when I really let myself think about it in depth, I literally get the chills and I get highly uncomfortable because it just was so bad. I know sometimes I make things sound so funny because that's just how I am. That's how I handle trauma. But like prison was the most traumatic thing I've ever been through besides losing my dad. It wasn't hard gangsters and stuff, but mentally for me, it was brutal. Especially holidays. That was really, really hard for me. Oh my God, trick-or-treating. Okay, so one year it was this one old lady. She was so sweet. She was saving candy and she made a trick-or-treat thing. Foot of a bunk bed. There's a top and there's a bottom. There's like that little window you could sit out. She made a trick-or-treat thing. Line going around the dorm and there was a fuck-ass officer that was like, hey! We're like, actually shitting my ass. Let us get a piece of candy. It's so funny because me and Dalton's prison experiences were so different, so I like to compare. I didn't get to do all sorts of shit and we were monitored like little babies. Look who it is. So yeah, holidays in prison, they tried to like make it seem like they cared by giving us a fake steak and pie. Maybe with the little Christmas tree, but honestly, for me personally, it made it work. I want to be in a blackout zone. I want to be in another dimension. What I love the most about those moments, the way all the girls came together. I've seen such a tight, like, girl bond. All we have is each other. You got to think about it. Like, there's no other way of comfort. You know what I mean? Some of my best friendships came from prison. Swear to God. Erica. Never met Erica before prison. I was in the room when she had her baby and I cut her baby's umbilical cord and I am her daughter's godmom. What? That makes me want to cry. Tara. I didn't know Tara before prison. To this day, I could call Tara or Erica and be like, I need this right now. They will show up. They're not fake. They don't talk shit about me behind my back. We've been through something so traumatic together that it's like this undeaded loyalty. I don't know what undeaded. I don't even know what that means. It's a loyalty we have for each other because of what we went through. I don't know how to explain it. I deadass can't watch any sentencing and documentaries without like my skin crawling and me getting chills because it's so traumatic. Flashbacks. I have 9 years clean on August 4th. To this day, every single holiday I'm with my kids, I'm just like basking. I'm like, how? I never get complacent and I don't forget what that felt like. And I just am so grateful. Also, the officers never cared if it was like your birthday or something and you're trying to do something like extra. They're like, I don't give a fuck. You're all, oh, by extra, I mean like sharing a meal with your friends or something. Oh, God forbid, some lemonade or something. No. I've actually had ex-correction officers reach out to me on here and they're like, I'm really proud of you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm all, Like the ones from the prison I was in. I love you guys. Mwah. Don't go to prison. Love you, see bye.
These are things I hate being told. Number one is when I'm in an argument with somebody and they're like, oh, well, I'm from this place, so you don't want to mess with me. Have you heard about this place? Like, I don't give a fuck where you're from. Oh my god, you're from New York. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Ah. You being from a certain city is not going to change anything, and it's not going to make me back down. Like, I'm not scared of you. I'm from Phoenix. Congrats. Next is when I'm complaining to somebody about my weight and they tell me like, oh, but you're skinny, or oh, but like you don't even look bad. It's like, I didn't ask you about that, did I? I didn't ask you if I look good or how I look or if I'm skinny or not. I'm telling you that I'm not okay with the way that I'm looking right now. Like if I'm over here expressing to you that I feel fat or that I feel like my body isn't the way that I want it to be, like you telling me that I'm skinny and that I need to get over it basically, it does not help at all. Because now I'm over here feeling even worse than I was before. So thanks. I've been struggling with the ED since high school. Don't ever tell me that I'm skinny if I'm sitting here complaining about my weight to you. Don't ever fucking do that to me. I hate when people try to tell me how to do my job. Like when I was working at Chipotle or even at like Starbucks, people would try to tell me how to do my job all the time and I knew what the fuck I was doing. I fucking hate that shit. That shit drives me up the wall. Like, oh my god. There's always the people who suck at their job that try to tell you what to do. It's like insane. Clearly, if I was doing something wrong, my boss would say something or I would get fired. Like, obviously, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, mind your fucking business, okay? It really drives me insane when people go to say something and then they stop, like, mid-sentence and say, never mind. Like, bitch, finish what the fuck you were gonna say. What's the point of even starting the sentence if you knew that you weren't gonna finish it? Like, you knew you weren't gonna finish your sentence. Like, don't do that. Like, finish it. And then last, but definitely not motherfucking least, I hate when people try to tell me to let go of things from the past. Like, when people do me dirty and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm not gonna let go of it. Like, I went through this, you didn't go through this, and like it really fucking affected me. I'm not letting it go. I personally hold grudges. I don't care. For example, Mr. 5'3", this shit happened like 6 years ago, but I'm still irritated about it and I'm still gonna keep making videos about it if I fucking want to. I'm still gonna make money off of him if I want to. He wasted 3 years of my life and did me so fucking dirty, and I don't know, like this was such a pivotal time in my life too. Like this was my like late teens, early 20s. Like of course I'm not gonna let that shit go. I don't give a fuck. Like who are you to tell me how to feel about something? Absolutely not. Here is the final look. Okay, bye.
Crazy things that I thought when I was in my addiction. Obviously, I thought the cops were coming for me at every second of the day. Paranoia of somebody on drugs actually needs to be studied because what? I thought the cops were coming for me every second of the day. It didn't matter where I was. I felt like I was safe if I was honestly on the moon. There was no safe space. I was always had my head on a swivel. I was like, they know I'm here. They got a call. And not only when I had warrants for my arrest for robbery, burglary, and I was heading to prison. Before that, too. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I used to think that people would sense my anxiety and not want to be around me. They could sense it. They could feel it. The second I had anxiety, heart racing, they could feel it and they would get away from me. Every time I would do Beth, it gave me anxiety. Did I stop? No! Nope. No. Every time I would do, and my heart would be like, die. And I would be like, you know, to this day, I kind of still believe it. Why did you guys all leave? I want to see cameras. I want to see play the fun. One time I walked into the Walmart and every single person in the Walmart, I could have sworn went like this. I was all, they know. Like, Lacey, not every single person inside Walmart looked at you. Oh, I was searching. I thought every single person ever was setting me up and was tricking me. That's not completely wrong. You know what I mean? Like, they do. Everybody in the game is fucked up, twisted, and they only care about themselves. That paranoia is granted. And I thought my baby daddy was watching me everywhere. Actually, underneath the bed, in the tree, in the car, under the car, I was all, get away from me! I'd be by myself and I'd be like, I know you're here. I swear to God. Oh, imagine if somebody was like, heard me. They're all, oh, show yourself. But he was always doing fucked up shit to me. So like, also understandable because what the fuck is up, Kyle? I thought that there was devices planted and everything. So like a fire detector, that alarm right there, I would have been all, swear to God, if somebody left their phone around me, I'm all, what? I never thought bugs was crawling on my skin or anything like that. I wasn't a picker, whatever, but I did dig my eye boogers out of my eyes so much. I would create more. Like my eye was just protecting itself. It's like, why are you sticking things in here? And then it would just, you guys, my eyes got swollen shut one time. I was all, so I can't go anywhere today. I used to think that one of my friends was like spying on me for my baby daddy, and I was like, can't trust you. I was all, nice try. She was all, what? You up to this, huh? You think I'm stupid, huh? What the fuck, Lacey? Every tweaker known to man. It wasn't really a tweaker, but I mean, I did both. But every single one of them has a scanner app on their phone. Be hanging out, and you would just hear 10, 5, 32, 7. Yes. It was like a normal thing because we were listening. We were trying to be prepared. I actually did hear an officer heading to my house to find me on it once. I swear to God. That suspect, Lacey, Clover Road. I was all... Detour, go! Did just rob my sugar daddy. Oh, he was sleeping. Frick off. Sorry, you're 75 years old and you fall asleep every second. Like, I don't know if you know that I'm a crackhead and I don't sleep. So, like, yeah, don't leave anything around me and fall night. Put on, like, soothing music. I'm all shh. Pop some NyQuil in his drink. No, I never did that. I think a majority of the time, the things that I thought was that the cops were coming for me. I'd have been driving on the road in the back seat, leaned down. You could barely see my eyes, and I seen a cop 4 lanes over, and I'm all, ah! I would spiral, and I would say, go back around. Hurry, go into a ditch. No, we need to ditch the car. We need to get in a different car. You come pick me up. I wish I was joking. I want to know what? Some people do not come back from that, and I'm so grateful. I could have been a permanently crazy person. I am crazy, but I'm like, crazy. You know what I mean? This Vitamask's lip thing from Target. Yep, it's in my bag. I got every shade. But yeah, those are the crazy things I thought. Plot twist, my baby daddy was never in the tree, under the car, or under the bed. No. Unless he was. Tell me now if you were. Show yourself now, admit it now.
Get ready with me while I share a crazy pick-me foreigner interaction that includes my boyfriend while living in Korea.
This is personal.
Quick disclaimer, this is not to say all foreigners in Korea are weird or pick me. This girl that I met, truly bizarre. Okay, so boom, it's like 2 years ago. I'm out with my friend in Itaewon, Azra. You guys probably have seen him on the internet before. Super cool, super lovely person. Top tier friend I met in Korea. He's like, oh, some of my other friends are at this other bar in Itaewon, let's go meet them. My MBTI is like an ESFP, ESFJ type beat, but I'm not that much of an E. Like, I'm gonna be so polite, so kind, Canadian. I'm gonna be so nice to everybody. We arrived to the bar and there's already like 12 people at this really big table, right?
Whoa, that's a lot of people.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody besides Ezra. And I'm sitting next to this girl. She's gorgeous. She looks like me. That's why the situation bothered me so much. We could be cousins. Like, we genuinely could be cousins. Talking to the girl mainly on my left side, and we're just like talking about random things, blah, 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 blah. The girl who kind of looks like me, if you know what I mean. Let's just call her Pick Me. But I felt this like unspoken tension between us. There's this group of guys, like Korean guys, next to us and their other table. Like, in my personal opinion, they're not serving, they're not giving. They were low-key like probably 10 years our senior. Honestly, I didn't get the appeal. Pick Me, she was like, let's do shots with them, Chukia, or something Korean words, like she's fluent, not me, right? Personally, I don't really drink like that. I'm picky when I want to drink, I'm picky. Oh, I don't really want to do shots with them. I have a boyfriend. And I was saying it to the girl next to me over here, not her. I was just like, oh, I'm good. Like, I don't need a shot. Like, I have a boyfriend. I don't want to do shots with some random men. Unless there's like a motive, like unless my girls wanted to talk to them or something, like I'm not really doing all that. Each to their own. The second I mentioned I have a boyfriend, she turns to me. She's like, her eyes turned red. She got this little Grinch smile.
Oh, you have a boyfriend? Is he Korean? Is he Korean?
At this point of living in Korea, I was still fairly new, so I didn't really understand the stigma of like having a boyfriend who's Korean, or like you met somebody in Korea. Like, I live here. Like, maybe I met somebody. Like, what's the problemo? What's the big deal? Yeah, he's Korean. Yeah, what about it?
Come back by yourself so I could break your funky ass neck.
No, that's what I should have done. But I was like, yeah, he's Korean. Without missing a singular heartbeat, without missing a millisecond, he looks at me dead in my face and says, just do the shot. He's gonna cheat on you anyways. I'm from the front and I fuck from the back. I looked down at my chest and I was like, why am I bleeding? Who shot me? Who says that? Who says that?
What?
I was so caught off guard. I was not ready for this. I was not prepared. I didn't have any ammo ready. And it was loud enough that majority of the people at the table heard, because it went completely silent. Me and Ezra, we both like looked at each other like, oh.
You want to talk
Okay, this is what I do. Guess what I said? I had many things going through my brain. Do I grab this kimchi and slap her like in the dramas and slap and slap and slap? Because when somebody says that to you, or your boyfriend's gonna cheat on you, what's your defense? There's no defense. Actually, he's really nice to me.
Very gorgeous to me.
Doesn't matter. But then she went on this like little rant with her friend next to me, and she's just like, yeah, that's why I date people from my culture. I date people from my culture. Why would I date a Korean man? You're in Korea. You're studying the language. You're in the schools. You got a job here. You want to live here. Nah, but like, I don't with Korean men. They're all trash.
Make that make sense.
To you. To me, my boyfriend, my Korean boyfriend, he's very lovely to me. We've been together 2 years now, okay? I think I can say that. It's just so disheartening to meet somebody who looks like you in a country that nobody looks like you, and that's how they talk to you. More jarring is that like she's kind of like relevant on social media, has a bigger following than me on TikTok. Girl, like your whole content is like Korea, just talking ish, like you're talking to people like this, like that's crazy. And I'm not the one to expose because it's just too messy, and this happened so long ago. Like till this day, like I don't talk to her, and like we never had to see each other again, so that's good enough for me. Never forget that interaction, because genuinely, who talks like that? Only here in Korea will you meet a foreigner like that. I swear by it. That's my little story about a pick-me I met in Korea, and I hope you guys never have to come across a pick-me yourself.
Get ready with me for my anniversary. While I tell you how me and my boyfriend met, but if you guys are nosy like me, you would love a little love story. So it's quite a long story, so I'm going to try and shorten it as much as possible. So it's a very invisible string story. I went to university, and I met my best friend, and she basically used to play football, women's football, she still does. And my boyfriend is a boxing PT coach, and during COVID, when COVID happened, he was offering basically PT sessions to help athletes and everyone keep fit. One day my boyfriend saw me on my best friend's story, and the next, I think that's a bit much, and the next time he trained her, he was like, my dream girl was on your story the other day, who is that? I need to know. At this time I was in a long-term relationship, so my best friend was like, that's Madison, she has a boyfriend, she's a good egg, she won't go near you, so I wouldn't even try it. And my boyfriend was like, okay, I respect it, but like, that's the girl I'm gonna be with. The confidence. So I didn't know this at the time because I didn't bat an eyelid back then about people following me or anything like that, but I think he followed me on his work account. I don't know whether he's trying to play it smooth or what. But obviously I didn't follow him back, I didn't see it. So at this point I have no clue who this boy is. Now fast forward 4 years. At this point I'd now been single for about 1.5 years. Me and my girls decided to have a night out in the Prince. If you guys know the Prince, it's a good time. Yeah, we just wanted a really nice girls' night. There was quite a few of us. We were like, let's just go have a good time. Originally, I wasn't gonna go because we had a bottomless brunch before that, and the Prince was ages away from the bottomless brunch, and I was like, girls, let's just find somewhere around here, like it's not that deep to travel all the way to the Prince. And like the girls were like, no Mads, come on, like we never go out, like I'm the mum of the group, I'm not a massive night out, like going out girl, I'd rather be at home with my cup of tea. But I was like, do you know what, why not? So then we trekked all the way to the Prince, thank God we did. So me and my best friend were like, should we go soon? Like we were having a good time, but we were ready to like end the night. And then as we're about to leave, we spot these boys walking down the stairs. So I'm not the type of girl that pulls on a night out, it's just never been me. So for someone to like physically catch my eye on a night out is like the rarest thing ever. But these boys start walking down these stairs, and there was just this beautiful tanned boy walking down the stairs laughing with his friends, and me and my best friend, we look up at them, and the boy looks at me and smiles at me like he knows me. Obviously I'm like, he just smiled at me. My best friend was like, do you know him? Because that was a smile like he knew you. And I was thinking to myself, let me tell you, I would remember if I knew him. But as he walked past, we clocked eyes again, and I was like, what? This seems too like friendly for me not knowing this person. So then we do what every girl group would do in that situation. We do a lap. We do a lap to see if he was to like stop me, to be like, I know you, like, because we were so confused. But someone in his group, as we're walking past, like, pulls my sister to have like a chat with her. So we're just like stood still, and then me and my best friend have had to stop. And as we've stopped, I've looked at this boy, who's now my boyfriend, by the way, and he had a top on that physically made me feel ill. He had a top on in the prints that said, "I'm not here for love." And categorically, I took one look at that and I went from, "Do you know me?" to like something switched in my brain, like game on. And my head went to like a bit like game on, like I'm gonna make you fall in love, for the banner of it. Then I don't know what came over me, but I turned to my friend and I said, "Watch this." And I walked up to him and I went, "Madison, nice to meet you." And he went, and everyone to this day, we all laugh about this, and goes, "Oh, I know who you are." And my face looked like I just met my stalker. Like my face dropped, and he could see that my face had dropped. And he was like, "Oh my God, not like that." He was like, "Is your best friend so-and-so?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes." And he was like, "I used to train her in COVID. And I recognise you because we used to speak about you when I was training her." Like, oh, interesting. Had a little conversation, maybe for like literally a minute or two. And then I saw the t-shirt again and I thought, I'm gonna leave now. But before I left, he was like, "Is there any way I can get your number?" And passed me his phone. And I thought, didn't really normally give my number out, but let me tell you girls, he was looking delightful. So I was like, you're an exception. He passed me his phone and my brain was still in game mode from seeing his t-shirt. So I still to this day don't know if this is like the smoothest thing I've ever done or the cringiest. He passed me his phone, I put my number in, passed it back. He then typed my name in as Madison and passed it back to me and he said, "Is that how you spell your name?" And I deleted my name and put future wife and handed it back to him. And I didn't know how that was gonna go down, but I passed it back to him and he smiled and nodded. I obviously walked away. I must have taken, girls, no word of a lie, maybe 3 steps. I had a ping on my phone and he'd text me saying, "J. future husband." And I thought, me and you might get along, you know. I thought, yeah, smooth. And once he sent that, we were sort of like texting back and forth a little bit throughout the night. And he messaged me, bless him, to say, like, "I hope you got home all right. Can you just let me know that you get home safely?" And I thought, first tick off a nice boy. And then when I woke up in the morning, I indeed did have a morning text and I thought, oh, keen, but we like it. And then he was literally like, "Look, I know this is going to come across really keen, but I go on holiday on the Thursday." This was, by the way, Sunday. He was like, "I go away on Thursday." He was like, "I want to take you out on a date before I go. What are you doing Tuesday?" And I was thinking, I literally met you yesterday. Like, this is in 3 days. But I was like, nothing. He was like, "Perfect." He was like, "Send me your address. I'll pick you up at 7. We're going on a date." And I thought, I think I'm in love. We did indeed go on a date. And it was a very good first date. It's the definition of if he wanted to, he would. He then flew to, I think it was the Dominican Republic for 7 days. He was flying back on the Friday. It's like a 9-hour flight, if I'm correct. I texted him after our date being like, "Enjoy your holiday, like don't stress about messaging me, like go and enjoy, blah." This boy replied going, "But I want to message you, so I will." And I thought, no, there's too many green flags going on here. On the Thursday, I then get a message off him going, "This is gonna sound really keen, but like, I feel like I've quite missed you this week, even though we've only been on 1 day." So he was like, "So I'm ready for the second date if you are." And I was like, yeah, thinking like, I wonder when he's gonna plan it, when for, blah, blah, blah. He was like, "Perfect, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I thought, what do you mean what I'm doing tomorrow? Like, it's Friday, you're flying back. You land at like 1. Like, surely you're not doing a 9-hour flight and then taking me on a date. And he said, "Yes, I am." So this boy got on a 9-hour flight, landed at 1, got home at 2, had a 25-minute nap, I'm pretty sure he said, got ready, and then we met about 4:30. So we then went on the second date, which was unreal. But I did indeed come home from the second date and there was flowers waiting for me.
It's quite a funny story because my whole family take the piss out of him and call him Petal because he is very good with a flower. I get flowers nearly without fail every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how long my flowers will last. He's a good boy when it comes to stuff like that. And the rest is history. We've been dating ever since. We lived together. Yeah, I love a love story, so I thought I would share mine. And yeah, I think we're going on a little queue. I think he's taking me on like a picnic boat today for our anniversary, which will be cute. And then I think we're just gonna see where the day takes us. So thanks for getting ready with me, girls. And yeah, I hope everyone finds a love in this life.
Get ready with me to go on a date with my sister's ex, who's currently still dating somebody. So that actually was a lie. I just wanted to hook you so you'd watch my Get Ready With Me while I try to put on some makeup. Well, it's not a full lie. Some guy texted me and tried to hit on me, but he had a girlfriend. And then he said, oh my gosh, you kind of look like someone I've dated before. And I'm like, I have a sister. And he's like, oh my gosh, I used to date her. I screenshot all this and I send it to the girl he was currently dating because I could see her profile. And she blocks me, so. This is my makeup bin, and there's something else in here too. Mascara, yeah. A lot of people are telling me to get my eyebrows done, which I totally would. I just don't have money to. A lot of people told me to try mascara, so I'm going to. But I'm not going to curl my lashes because I genuinely don't know how to, and it's just going to end up pitching my eyelid. Can you even see a difference? I have no idea. Yeah, girl. I don't know how to put this on. Is it on my upper lid, too? Okay, guys, I tried. I'm gonna put on this e.l.f. lip oil shine or something. Alright, now let's do my hair. Everybody was so, like, crazy about my hair for that one video I did. So, I'm not even getting ready for anything. I just wanted to make a video. This is my Get Ready With Me. I can put my glasses back on. I gotta take this stuff off, guys. What the heck are you making me do?
Get ready with me to go out for dinner. As always, I do not have an outfit planned out. So basically, last night I was minding my own business. I was about to go to sleep, but I can't sleep whatsoever. I was watching YouTube and I couldn't get comfy where I was laying in my bed, so I lay at the end of my bed. So down, it looks like there's a little ball of fluff moving on the floor. It's not a ball of fluff, no. I look down, what do I see? I see a spider that belongs in Australia. That should not be in my room. No, it was the size of my hand. And it wasn't one of those skinny ones that you can barely know. No. So then my dad gets a glass and he puts the spider under the glass, and the spider's literally doing backflips in there. It's not a chill little nonchalant spider. No. The spider's doing backflips in the glass and I'm stood on my bed having a panic attack. I didn't plan on sharing my room. So that was terrifying. And then I didn't go to sleep until about 3 a.m. So that was yesterday, and then today I'm minding my own business. I'm putting in my rollers, existing. So then my mum's like screaming my name. I'm like, what's going on? There were 2 pigeons in my parents' bedroom. What were they doing in there? So yeah, we're low-key just attracting wildlife at the moment. I feel like I've finally got my makeup routine down on lock. So if you guys want a makeup routine, tell me, because you see, loads of people ask for it, but I feel like no one's gonna watch. The amount of comments I get daily on my eyebrows is shocking. One eyebrow's thicker than the other. I literally cannot help it. If anyone knows how to fix that, tell me, because that is the difference. Okay, I'm back. I did not record me doing my lashes, but I did my actual lashes and then clusters on the end. That's it. I'm gonna take out my rollers and then show you. I'm officially getting stalked. A few days ago, I posted a video talking about how a girl slid into my man's DMs and was just being hella weird about the whole situation. Just to recap, this girl named Stella, and I didn't name drop in the first video, but since she has gone this far, I might as well name drop. This girl named Stella, however, slid into my man's DMs and was like, oh, you're cute, leave your girl for me. Which, I mean, that wasn't that weird because it's, TikTok. We both do TikTok. Weird shit happens all the time. What did get weird is after I asked her why she did that, she started reposting things and tagging my man in them, talking about, oh, me and Matt Teep for real, me and my man. And she would come onto my live talking about how fine he was, and she just was taking it really far. She even tried to convince my boyfriend that she knows him personally because of school, but then she named the school I'm going to, so she clearly doesn't know him that well. We kind of just thought that it was just maybe a fan taking it too far, just trying to like be funny, so it really wasn't that big of a deal, and it made a good get ready with me video. However, last night she decided to take things even further. Around 9 p.m. I was on FaceTime with my boyfriend and I was on his iPad because he can use his phone and still make a call. Okay, that's important for the context. He gets a call from a no-caller ID. At first he wasn't going to answer, but then he was like, that is kind of weird, it's a no-caller ID, let me just see who it is. So he answers and I'm still on the phone. I'm still on the phone on FaceTime on his iPad, so I can hear the conversation on the phone too. However, when he answers, nobody says anything and they hang up like immediately. So we both assumed that it was probably either a spam caller or just the wrong number. However, he gets a phone call 5 minutes later from another no-caller ID. And so he answers, and this time a girl is on the other end and she asks, is this Matt T? So my boyfriend answers yes because he's like, who is this? How do you know my name? However, the phone hangs up again because the person just hung up again. So now we're kind of both weirded out because now this no-caller ID knows his name, but then the person calls for a third time, and this time she answers the phone with, Matt Teep, I miss you. And so my boyfriend is like, who is this? And the girl on the other end was like, oh, you know who I am, I miss you. She ends up hanging up again, and I start to get really weirded out. I was like, who is this girl? You sure you don't know her? Like, are you sure it's not like an ex-girlfriend, ex-hockey stage? And he was like, no, like, I would recognize the voice. I know good and well this isn't somebody I know personally. I honestly don't expect her to call again, but then she calls for a fourth time. And this time she answers the phone with, Gabby doesn't have to know. Little did she know I was actually on the other end of the call and could hear everything she was saying. So I used a very appropriate language and I said, bitch, I'm right here. Me and her kind of got into it and we kind of started arguing. I was like, who are you? Why are you calling my man? How do you have his number? This is getting weird. Trying to convince me that her and my man were together the other night, even though we were on FaceTime for the entire night, even fell asleep on the phone. The whole time she's on the phone, she's just trying to convince me that my boyfriend's cheating on me with her. Eventually, my boyfriend was like, okay, actually, who is this? This is getting weird. You have my phone number. You know about my girlfriend. Who is this? And then she said something that literally sent chills through my body. She said, do you want a hint? And my boyfriend's like, yeah, like, we want to know who you are. And she says one word. She says, guess. Which is really scary because whenever this girl, Stella, was first doing this with reposting my man and stuff, and we confronted her, was like, who is this? That's the same exact thing she said. She said, do you want to know who? And we said yes, and she said guess. So now we're connecting the dots, and we're like, okay, the girl that has been reposting about my boyfriend and being really creepy about him has found his phone number and is now calling him. So now we're both creeped out. However, she does end up hanging up eventually, and she doesn't call back again. Except now me and my boyfriend are both in detective mode because we're like, what the heck was that? So we both go back onto Stella's account that she has been commenting on my TikToks with, and we look at her recent TikTok that she has posted, and it's a lip sync. And I noticed something kind of interesting about the lip sync. It kind of glitches at one point and it almost looks like it's a screen recording from somebody else's account. And so I put the image into Google and I reverse image search and I'm like, let's see if this is actually an original video or if this is somebody else's account. Why it brings me up to another creator's account on TikTok that's not Stella. We don't know if this is just a joke gone too far, if there's actually an ulterior motive underneath all of this. So I am going to tag her username below if you guys want to message her, reach out, anything, to see if maybe she'll respond to somebody. If you do notice the account doing anything else weird, please let us know because this is definitely getting out of hand, even if it is just a joke.
How are you going to look me in my face and tell me that you haven't received the checks when I have proof that you signed and deposited the checks back in April? My old management owes me over $20,000, and at this point, who knows when I'm gonna see that money? In the spring of 2025, I signed with an agency. This was my first talent agency as a content creator, and I was drawn to them because their whole ethos was making sure that women of color were paid fairly. Little did I know I wouldn't be getting paid from that same agency a year later. When I first started working with the agency, I liked it. My main experience working with the agency was working with my talent manager, who was great. However, in February of 2026, my talent manager was abruptly fired, which made me and some of the other talent kind of raise an eyebrow as to what was going on behind the scenes, especially because this was around the time that payments started to be delayed as well. So since my main experience working with the agency was working with my talent manager, I decided to leave that agency in April of 2026. April was around the time that a lot of my brand payments started to be due, so I started inquiring about where these payments were. I was told that the agency's old finance team had mismanaged some of the funds, and therefore the agency's books were being audited and payments were having to be reconciled, and that's why payments are delayed. Okay, fine. Annoying, but I can have some grace for that. However, in May, I was told that at least 2 of my brand deal payments had already been reconciled and were owed to me, and it's August and I have yet to see that money. I haven't even gotten to the craziest part yet. Stay with me because this is where it gets juicy. In June, I have a Zoom call with the CEO of my old agency. This call is to go over all my brand deal payments, and I asked specifically about 3 different payments from 2 different brands. The CEO tells me that the brands have sent physical checks, but the agency has not received those physical checks, and therefore the agency cannot pay me. Actually, let me not ramble. Let's just roll the tape.
That was supposed to be a physical check, so both the first were physical checks that I never got. Never got through the mail. So that's something that we've been actively seeking on because I just have not gotten any physical checks, and they're saying that they sent it, and they're fighting back that they don't want to resend it if we didn't actually get the check. But I got it, so I can't deposit it or send it anywhere.
So I was like, you haven't received the checks. Let's go to the brands and see if that's true. I went to the brands and asked for confirmation of payment. And what do the brands do? They send me signed checks with the CEO's signature on the back, showing that they did in fact receive the checks and have deposited them. 3 checks they told me the agency did not receive. I was giving grace about the whole reconciliation process. But at this point, how are you going to look me in my face and tell me that you haven't received the checks when I have proof that you signed and deposited the checks back in April? Allegedly, this reconciliation process and delay in payments was supposed to be for payments made to the agency prior to this new third-party finance team coming on board and taking over the old agency's books. However, I had a payment made to the agency in June and I have yet to see that money. And at this point, I'm scared because I have another payment routed to the agency and I don't even know if I'm going to be seeing that money anytime soon. This is such an unfortunate situation because it's not only affecting me, but so many other creators and talent managers that were signed to this agency. People rely on this money to help them make a living. Imagine going to work and not knowing when you're going to get paid. But I will say I've learned so much about this content creator business and signing with an agency. I hope from this I can help educate people on things that they should look out for and practices that they should do if and when they sign with an agency. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know and maybe we can get a part 2.